Welcome back to Primitive Organic Garden today. I am so way overdue on garden videos. I'm actually over at the secret fruit orchard today, and that looks a little bit nicer than the gardens at the moment. So I'm gonna do a quick tour of the fruit orchard, and then later this afternoon I might do a tour of the annual gardens just to give you all a little bit of an update. There's so much weeding to do. We have gotten 33 inches of rain in the last 90 days, and almost every day has been 90 plus degrees. So things are a big mess, but shockingly, this apple tree I planted last year seems to be hanging on. Apples are one of the most heat sensitive, especially the cultivars. I have a wild apple tree that I started from seed years ago, and that handles our summers fine. But it needs a second tree in order to make fruit. And so instead of starting a second one from seed and having 2 crab apples that won't make fruit for years, I actually bought a couple cultivars over the years. This is the only one that's managed to survive, and it's in deep shade under the oaks. This one's called Anna. It's a red apple, very low chill hours. It says full sun, but if you put an apple tree in full sun here, it's probably going to die in the summer. But here's the muscadine grapes. So we've now had to build a second arbor for the grapes. Still not getting a whole lot of fruit production. This is the 3rd year they've been here. They don't get enough sun. They're in deep shade under these oaks, and they don't seem to produce a lot of fruit. The loquats produce fine in the shade, but the grapes don't seem to be. Maybe it's because it's only their 3rd year, but hopefully next year there'll be more grapes. But you can see I had to double the size of the arbor, so I put quite a lot of work and money into these grapes. Just the cost of lumber now is outrageous. You can see this is the first grape arbor. There's 2 grapevines, I believe. They were cuttings from a 60-plus-year-old plant in the upstate. You can see this is the second arbor here. I guess if I don't ever get grapes, at least I can use the arbor as a jungle gym / chin-up bar. Here's one of the loquats in deep shade. This thing has just tripled in height in the last couple years. I mean, I remember when me and this loquat were eye to eye. It was only 2 years ago. This thing's massive now. This one here, I mean, both of these are pushing 20-25 feet at this point. This one had a ton of fruit on it this year, but I think somebody stole most of it. Anyway, this is an olive bush that I put in last year. It's probably not going to do great because it's in deep shade, but I didn't really have a good spot to put it at the time when I put it in. This is the wild apple tree, but you can see it's covered in muscadine grapevines, unfortunately. I had to prune this last year because it was just about to fall over under its own weight. I've tried grafting some cultivars onto here, but none of them took, I don't think. Maybe one of them took. See if I can find the one that took. I didn't think any of them took, but Mom was out here the other day and she said she saw leaves on one of the grafted branches. But I guess I'll try again next year. Either way though, as long as that cultivar I just showed y'all eventually flowers, we should get fruit off both trees. Okay, weird story on the peaches. This peach, I made a mistake. I went to the nursery. This peach has only been here for a few months. It's unreal how well this thing is doing. It has nearly tripled in height in one growing season. So I accidentally bought 2 of the same variety of peach. I did not mean to do that. This is an Alberta peach. Barely on the edge here. We're about zone 9 now. Hopefully this is a low chill hour variety. Anyway, so I put this peach in the exact same day that I put this peach over here in. They're the same variety of peach from the same nursery, purchased on the same day, planted on the same day. This one has only put on maybe a foot of growth this year, and it's in nearly full sun. It doesn't look very happy. This one over here in deep shade with lots of competition from other fruit trees and the oaks is doing fantastic. This peach has been here 2 or 3 years, and it's about the same size as this new one. This is what variety is this? You know, the tag with the variety name on it must have fallen off. Well, that's a shame. I don't remember what this one is now. But I do want one more peach tree. I want one of the Georgia Bells. This is either a Florida King or a Florida Queen, I think. Alright, we'll look at a couple other things. Random Volunteer Zinnia. I really like the color on this one. I don't know if it shows up well, but it's like almost like a hot pink, like a Barbie pink. It's really pretty. The fig trees have done really well in terms of growth this year, but they seem pretty thirsty. They wilt every time it gets hot, which kind of surprises me. I thought figs did really well here and you didn't have to really worry too much about them. What else? Oh, let's look at the citrus, I guess. So this is one of my tangerines, started from seed. This has only been here maybe 2 or 3 years. Same with this one. This one's got a funny shape to it. I didn't print it like that, it just looks like that. Look at those massive thorns. So yeah, we're up to 20 something citrus now, if I recall. This one here is doing pretty good, even though it's got a ton of competition from all these shrubs along the fence line I've been trying to get rid of. This one here looks pretty good. It's next to the raised bed. This is our oldest, largest tangerine. This one's taller than the house. I gotta get on the roof to harvest the tangerines. You can see there's a few on here this year. We had a really late freeze in April, which almost never happens here. And so we did lose some of the flowers. But I don't know. Most years we get between 150 and 300 off of here. If we get 200, I'll be happy. It won't be the best year, it won't be the worst year. There's still a lot of like messes to clean up over here, unfortunately. This little random eggplant. I usually don't do annual vegetables at the orchard, but I'm trying to incorporate more. These are Italian purple eggplants. They're really nice to stuff or to make eggplant parmesan out of. They get pretty big. Some random green beans here. This is one of the grapefruits. This one's 2 years old. It's still in a pot, so I can move it in the winter if I have to. Got some more zinnias. This was an apple tree that I took branches off of to graft onto the wild one. I just showed y'all none of them took. It'll probably die soon. This was cantaloupe, but squirrels or mice, something got into all the fruits. It's unfortunate. It was Ginger's Pride. 20-pound cantaloupes. Actually had like 5 or 6 of them forming. They were massive, and they got all split open by wildlife. But there's some flowers coming up here that look nice. I put some strawberries in here so the runners would establish themselves. They look like they're doing so. This is the second olive bush. It's the same variety as the olive that's in the shade, but this one will probably be happier. It's up off the ground in a nice dry raised bed, and it gets way more sun. This is the other grapefruit tree. This one's been in the ground for 2 years now. It's gone through 2 winters, no issues. It gets a ton of pest damage though on the leaves, leaf miner, and then the giant swallowtail / bird poop caterpillar. The wild trees, you never really see this type of damage on them, but the cultivars do get quite a bit of pest damage. That's why I'm a big promoter of the wild stuff. If possible, start your fruit trees from seed and they'll be way hardier. Your fruit qualities will be unpredictable, but at least you'll get fruit. Got some more zinnias. That's probably all of the backyard I'll show you all for now, because I have to get some more work done, and there's a lot of messes back here that y'all don't really need to see, but we'll go look at the front yard real quick too. This is a pineapple guava. These are supposed to be more temperate than most guavas, frost tolerant. I've heard these are actually good down to like 20 degrees or so. You even see some in the mountains. It flowered for the first time this year, just made one tiny little flower. It was very pretty. This is one of my dwarf lemon bushes, I believe. I think. And this is a seed started tangerine tree that I'm gonna prune into a bush. Got some blueberries back here, but they're not doing well. They really don't like the heat. I put a bunch of sulfur on them for soil acidification and fertilizer, but they're still not doing good. I'm over blueberries. Blueberries really don't do well in super hot, humid climates. There's 2 more sad little blueberries in pots here. There's a ton of apple mint that's kind of taken over. This lemon bush had like 20 something lemons on it last year. They're large Meyer lemons. It got hit by that late April freeze this year, so there's 0 fruits on this year. But it looks like it's put most of its focus into growth, actually. It was a tiny little thing last year, and I was shocked that it managed to put on 25-30 lemons. And this year it seems like it's focusing on growing, which is great. I don't see a whole lot of white zinnias. These will all be zinnias blooming pretty soon. The sunflowers are done for the year. I have one sunchoke plant that has now established itself next to this tangerine tree. That'll be interesting to watch the competition over the years, because this is a wild seed-started tangerine and it's in full sun and it's rapidly becoming massive. But those sunchokes will be pretty intense competition for it. I had nasturtiums in here, and they apparently don't like the heat. You can see there's some Asiatic dayflower back there. It's an awful weed. Some more zinnias, but they are almost done blooming for the year, unfortunately. Got some Mexican sunflower that's still blooming. All my cowpeas are getting hit hard by some type of bug. Not sure what it is, but every time I go to shell pods, there's bugs inside. I don't see any now, but you can see the damage from them. I don't think it's cowpea weevil, but it was something else in there. So I'm going to try to eat more of the pods green before the bugs get to them. You can see there's a few more zinnias in here. I would just go ahead and chop down all these cowpeas, but I don't want to get rid of all the zinnias yet. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for today's orchard tour. There are a handful of annual vegetables over at the orchard. Got some peppers. These purple bells are pretty, but they're not very tasty. Like these orange banana peppers, those are really nice.